knock them out and they spell them, and each table goes around the room and gets a different word, and it's tight competition. The News Journal is definitely always wanting to win, but I think this year they came in second to Daytona State College.
Wow, okay.
But it's a lot of fun, and they can get disqualified, but then they can have, kind of like a mulligan and get back in there, and they have little cute prizes. It's a fun night.
Okay, so those who are willing to do that, they buy a table and then have X number of people there, and then they work together on different words that come up, and then you kind of knock out as you get, or if everybody's knocked out, then you get a second chance, that type of thing, or yeah, okay, it sounds like a fun night. In fact, I remember something like that happening years ago, and the News Journal was involved with it as well as I think a few other employers. Seems like I was there at somebody's table, but I wasn't very helpful.
Well, it's a group effort, Gwen, so that's okay.
I know. That's the great thing about it. And when is that normally held now?
I think that is usually in May.
May?
I can get you all the dates of our fundraisers if you're able to post them online.
Yeah, wonderful. And, or I can announce them at various times, as I did for the couple of things that I mentioned here tonight. In terms of literacy, and in terms of what it is that they say about literacy in our area, one of the things that I shared with you earlier that have been shared with me and some other people in the group was that in this county, that the majority of the people are on something like a 6th grade level.
Yeah.
I guess when you put it all together, those who are educated, those who are uneducated and everything, and then you come out with that kind of an average.
Right.
And I heard the other thing that I was told is that newspapers and others, when they print materials, that they print it for individuals at a 6th grade level. What does that really say about either our educational system or our comprehension, or
it's staggering, it really is.
Yeah.
I've heard numbers like 1 in 4 struggle with literacy, and these are Volusia County numbers. 20% are reading under a 3rd grade level, 30% under a 9th grade level, and so that's a real challenge. And you think, it's not that prevalent, but there's a lot of people that are really struggling with literacy. And Volusia Literacy Council is the only group in our community that is working with this. So we're unique in that.
Now, I asked earlier about your funding source. Is it just based on your fundraisers, or do you get any funds from county or any cities or United Way or anything like that?
We do get some help from the county. We are a United Way agency. There's 37, so we're very proud to be one of those. And we've been around for like 33 years, so they're very established with that. We have the partnership with DSC, but all those things added up only cover just a small portion of what we need to operate. So we do rely a lot on the fundraisers. We don't have a big national organization like some groups do that take care of them.
Right.
So we have to really look towards the community to help us.
Now, do you get donations from employer groups? Because I would think it would be to their advantage for their employees if they are, let's say, substandard in terms of their reading ability, to bring them up and really help them to get to a point where not only do they feel good about themselves, but they're able to be much more productive on the job. And it helps overall, not just that business, but if that person is helped, and their family is helped, and the business is helped, and the community is helped. And individuals who can read actually become good role models for their children. In valuing not only the reading but the education as well. But do you find that employers are willing to assist and to really help with your fundraising efforts?
Yes. I really want to touch on a couple of things you said there, Gwen. And the biggest one being that there's a cycle out there, and we want to break through that cycle. And that cycle is where somebody grows up in a family where literacy isn't passed on, it's not valued, so there's no reason for that child to stay in school, and nobody's helping him with his homework when he gets home, and no one's reading him that bednight story. And so eventually he'll just drop out of school, and then he struggles to get a job. He ends up with a family and repeats the pattern. So when we can break that cycle, then instead of just affecting one person's life, that just has snowball ramifications, where that person then can go on to find a job and take care of his family, and then he's promoting literacy and encouraging his kids to stay in school. He's helping them with their homework, and it just blossoms from there. So that's a wonderful thing. And there are some workplaces that really do get that big picture mentality, that not only will it help them, but it'll help these people and their families and so on and so on. We have an excellent program director. Her name is Jonelle Persinger, and she will go into workplaces like that and set up tutoring situations where you can work with a number of people at one time to help them get to a place that the employer needs them to be. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Wonderful. And that particular program for employers, is that something that's been in place the entire time that you guys have been here as well, or did it develop, or it wasn't an outgrowth of what you just saw from people that were coming in to request literacy assistance, and maybe then get into some of their employees? Because I heard from this one person who had come in and had gone through some of the literacy classes and the like, and had gotten better, and that he went back actually and told his boss about it. And at first, his boss didn't even know he had an issue with reading.
Right.
Because they really and truly, they hide it very well.
They do. It's a shameful thing that people try to recover, and there's no need for that shame. If anyone's out there listening,
absolutely,
step forward and feel comfortable, and we will take care of you with privacy and care and love.
And what I was thinking is that energy that they put forth, and really, because it requires a lot of covering up. Once you start lying, and every lie requires kind of 10 more lies on top of it to kind of cover it up. Think of the energy that's put forth in just trying to cover up the fact that you can't read or you have a problem with reading. And think of, if you think you just, sometimes people like to think that they don't have what it takes, they're ignorant, they're dumb. You are smart. You are a smart person. I mean, to be able to fool people the way that you've done over the years. I'm talking, because when I was in counseling, I knew of a couple of people who were able to actually fool people that they could read. And these people were, it was like an art with them. I tell you, nobody, absolutely, even people in their family did not know that they were unable to read.
Yeah, they were clever.
Yes. And not only that, they fooled their family members, they fooled their employer. Some of them were kind of active in the church, so even church members, just did not know. And the shameful part of it, in my opinion, is not the person who's really still, they're trying to make it, they're surviving, with what the world has kind of handed to them. And many times, it's not their fault that they can't read. Sometimes, it was an education thing where, maybe they had other family members had to go, and so they stayed at home and they did the work and brought in the money while others went and all this kind. There are many times people make that personal sacrifice for them to not go, to not do it, while other family members and others, reap up those benefits. But at a certain point in time, Mr. and Mrs. and Ms., you need to allow yourself to be treated, allow yourself to receive what you've allowed so many others in your family to receive. And I would say to family members, they have given of themselves, they've sacrificed so that you could gain this great education or whatever else, or get this great job. Turn the favor around and now say to them, now it's your time. We're going to do what's necessary. If it's babysitting for you, if it's taking care of, this elderly other parent while the other one goes and learns to read, do what it takes for you to now, turn the tables and return the favor and allow this person to do that. And I know there are people who've learned to read in their 90s, right? Their 80s, their 90s, or whatever else, because it was something that they had always wanted to do as an accomplishment, a personal accomplishment for them, and it was a goal that they just had set for themselves. So this is something where we, people have the opportunity to really help other people by doing that. But this guy, he went and he told his employer that he couldn't read, and now he's learned how to read. So he felt safe doing it because now he could read. But he told him about the great program and services that he received at the Volusia Literacy Council. And then, and he said to his boss, there are some others in the workplace that can't read either. They're just like me. but they're afraid to tell you that.
There's a
And
stigma.
yes, and he said to him, what if you were to offer this to the employees and say that, you know, there'd be no retribution on our part, you know, and we will actually allow you a little extra time, you can leave a little extra early or whatever to go. And this employer actually did that. He had, turned out he had 2 or 3 people on the payroll that really needed that help, needed that assistance. And you know what, and I say this to employers and I say it all the time, that extra giving, that extra sharing, that extra, let's say I'm letting the person off early, you know, that person becomes an employee, a lifelong employee for you as long as they're able.
That pays dividends.
Yes, yes, and it pays long-term dividends. You know, the little things, the little extra things that you do for your employees, believe it or not, they don't forget them. And they become almost like family, you know, I mean, they just become like best friends. Not to say to you, you know, you're my best friend, blah, 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 but the loyalty is there, the trust is there, and sometimes that love is there. I mean, you're getting benefits, side benefits that you would never get just by, you know, mistreating somebody or not, you know, paying them their worth and stuff like that. So think about that. You know, that's what the Bible talks about when it talks about equal scales and, you know, people being treated fairly and all of
Well, I liked in the
that.
beginning when you were making announcements and you were talking about the white Canaan net. And you said that's one of the reasons we're here is to take care of each other.
Absolutely.
And what better way to take care of each other than giving back? You know, in the community, as a volunteer, there's so many ways to get involved. We'd love to have people partner with us at Volusia Literacy Council, but if not us, I know you've been involved in so many opportunities for volunteering too.
Yes, that's true. And that was another thing that I wanted to ask you about. Are there other organizations that you all partner with? I know you're a United Way agency, but other organizations where if they had someone, let's say, who needed the assistance, or someone came to their agency who really had need, that they would know automatically to send them to you to get that assistance. Are there any kind of, and maybe it's not a contractual type of thing, but because you and other organizations work together, you automatically know how to feed people to these organizations as they would for you if you need literacy assistance. This is where you go, Volusia Literacy Council. If you need, you know, other types of assistance, then we send you to these other agencies as well. And for people to know that we have really in this county a great working connection and interconnection between agencies. I remember working with so many people. Elaine Holt is one of their persons, and Dee Shea, who is now in Halifax, but many years ago, we worked with a lot of organizations in helping to kind of cement those relationships. And from what I gather from a lot of people, we have one of the better working, interworking relationships among agencies. Would you agree with that?
Yes, I would, and I really see that as something that's growing more and more. There's different processes in place, and just being part of the United Way really helps that a lot too.
Share with people, those who maybe don't feel encouraged sometimes to give to United Way, and United Way, each time they set their goals, they don't quite make it, and they end up then having to reduce the amount of money that they are able to give to the agencies. But the importance of their giving to United Way, giving to agencies now, especially, you know, with the financial crunch that's out there, that's going to get worse.
Yeah, that's true. With the economy, they do say statistically there's been a lot less giving. And everyone's feeling that, you know, in this time when it can really make a difference. And, you know, you don't want any of these organizations to have to close their doors because this is what our community depends on. And if we're not here for these people, you know, where are they going to go? What are they going to do? So it really is important. I would stress that people, you know, no matter how little it is, if they can still give of their time as well as their money, come to a fundraising event, it all makes a big difference.
Now you're saying, so the majority of your funding then comes from your fundraising efforts. So you guys are continually trying to come up with new and better ways to get the dollars in, and it's getting the dollars in so that you will be able to continue to provide the service.
Yes. I think before, you know, maybe there was enough But now, you know, with the cuts and everything, we have to make up that difference, definitely.